In this video, we're going to break down the impact of the ad that we ran on the BART train. This is the subway system in the Bay Area. We're going to talk the good, the bad, the ugly. I know a few people have subscribed from those BART ads. Let us know what you think of them. Are they dumb? I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you're new here, this is the Rush Hour podcast. I'm not Jackie Chan.
All of a sudden, you speaking English now, huh?
Non-technical tech guys who've been in the tech industry for 30 plus years combined. We've seen IPOs, mergers, acquisitions. We worked at big companies, little companies. We've kind of been there, done that kind of thing. So we're here to spit some free game, catch up on some tech news, and do these little goofy experiments like what happens when you run a BART ad with your podcast and your YouTube channel.
3, 2, 1, go!
You know, it's been 3 weeks now. We started it November 1. I was going to get your thoughts and feedback on it first, Justin. Like, how do you think it's gone?
Yeah, man. I mean, we always said, hey, let's kind of play around and do different experiments and just kind of see how it'll work. Like, I think, relative to understanding as a new channel how it works with kind of conversions, it's been really interesting. We've seen more or less kind of like one a day, one and a half a day. In the last few days, it's kind of averaged more like 2 to 4, which is kind of interesting. So maybe we could dive into that into the channel analytics. But I guess it's performing maybe about as well as I thought relative to us, like being a new brand, not having our faces on the ad, it being kind of like the first touch point. But interestingly, I think in one of the comments, someone said, "Oh, that's cool that you had the ad. That's actually not how I found you, but it reinforced wanting to check you out." So that was pretty cool feedback, just in terms of like multiple touch points in converting somebody into becoming like a subscriber or a watcher of our channel.
Yeah, we've had people that we know reach out and say, "Hey, is this your ad on BART? I'm looking at it right now. I think that's hilarious."
Yes.
And we're not even on it. People have just kind of like heard Justin and I talking about it and seeing the ad. I think that drove a friend to subscribe too, which is kind of cool. Like, oh, you guys, I mean, maybe it's like, hey, you guys are actually serious as a BART ad. Like, I'm going to subscribe. Yeah. This isn't like a fly-by-night thing. I was going to run through some numbers so people understand, we're averaging like 1 subscription a day. So the average ridership on BART is about 185,000 per weekday, which is 40% of what it was before the pandemic. But let's not worry about that. So out of the 185,000, you figure by my calculations, we're on maybe, we go conservatively, 1 of every 10 carts. We're on there. So maybe we cut that, 18,000 or so are seeing it. And then we're getting 1 subscription out of that 18,000. I mean, the numbers sound terrible, truthfully, but I was on the BART, you were on the BART. The ads are tough, like to notice one and then to actually pull out your phone and scan it. I'm amazed there's one a day.
Yeah, no, like what's the conversion on the QR, kind of like using the QR code? Because we're looking at a pretty down funnel, right? Like a sub likely happens after someone goes to the channel, they watch some content, maybe they come back, like maybe even the person that subs that day didn't even necessarily see the content that day. They come back a few days later. So it is a pretty down funnel event. But
I think so the rough calculation is 1 in 7 scan it and then actually subscribe. So I'm getting like 7 scans a day. And then out of those 7, 1 person says, all right, like I'm in. It's hard to tell because of how the QR code works. It only goes to the content page. It doesn't continually follow them. So we're I'm making some assumptions here. I'll show the data, I'll put it up post edit. But that's generally where we stand. So people that are wondering like, hey, what does an ad do? Obviously it's very dependent on the content and your goals. And for us, like requiring a scan, I think drops it massively because we want people to scan it and then go look for it and then subscribe. So you're talking about a lot of steps, but it's still a cool concept for us to sort of wrap your heads around.
Yeah, and the conversion rate, over 14% of the people who do scans. So that's not bad. We just got to get more scans next time if
Yeah,
we were to
we're
do it
what
again.
20 some days into it. We've got a little more than 20 subscriptions. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for subscribing. And we'll break down the dollar cost per average. The whole ad costs $2,000. So clearly we're in the red, considering we make no money on this anyway. So
Yeah,
there was no chance of any kind of ROI, but for us it was kind of fun. Um, Experiment, and we'll try other things, and we'll
yeah.
report back out. Let us know in the comments what tactics have you been curious about. Is it magazine ad? Is it TV ad? Is it Facebook ads? I mean, Facebook ads, I feel like Justin and I have done a lot of that, so
Yeah.
we wanted to try something a little more out of the box. But if you guys have anything you want to try, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear.
Yeah. Also, I feel like us doing episode on just like Facebook ads is not nearly as interesting. Probably maybe would have converted better, but that's not as fun.
And it definitely is not as fun. I like doing, because we're post pandemic and there was like this itch of like getting out in the real world, doing real world activities. We also talked about going to a college, right not too far from Cal State. I went there on a Friday. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
I went there and I was like, I'm gonna hand out some of these little business cards and see if we can't drum up some subscriptions, and I'll report back. There was nobody walking around.
No,
The
ghost town.
cafeteria was empty. Like nobody was there. I'm like, okay, maybe it was fall break. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty bizarre, but that was a failed attempt. I'll try it again, maybe another time at another campus.
I love that. And also, I'm wondering, like, we should incentivize people if they find the ad in the wild to, like, maybe we could do one of our giveaways or something. So
I love it.
So if you find the ad, can you throw up like our email in here, and then you can just like send us an email, and then we'll shoot you a little something, something
for sure. We have a lot of company tchotchkes. If you're into Bay Area and tech companies, Facebook, and we'll probably have T-shirts and hats and all kinds of things that we can send your way. So we'll do that. I'll put that up, and we can check it out, and we'll see. Let us know what other goofy, I wouldn't call it goofy, but what other fun sort of advertisement campaigns you want to see, and we'll see if we can't drum one up and see how it does. So, all right. Anything else?
I think that's all. On looking forward to the next week, the next update,
next iteration. Love it.
3, 2,